Kim and Kim, and welcome to Ask Mom's podcast. Yay!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask Mom's podcast, the show where we try our best to be your cheerleaders, kids, moms, dads, everyone really. As we always remind everyone, though, we are not professionals, but we can share our seasoned experience, researched information, and most importantly, remind you that you're awesome. If you feel you do need professional support, please reach out to a qualified medical expert. So, today, we're looking way back at how we were raised, Kim and I, and how children are being raised today.
Yeah, exactly. So we're talking about the 1970s,
Woo-hoo.
the era of wood-paneled station wagons and be home when the streetlights come on,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
compared to now, 2026, where you can track your kid's exact location with a GPS while they're actually sitting in the next room. You don't even have to talk to them. You can just text them,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
right?
It's a wild shift.
Yeah.
So we're diving into how parenting has gone from, children should be, what was the expression? Seen, not heard.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To let's have a family meeting, which
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
That half-hour collaboration discussion to understand everyone's feelings.
Yep.
Right? Which is actually so important. But back in the 70s,
We didn't have feelings.
we didn't have, we weren't allowed to have feelings.
No. Nobody listened to us either.
Oh
but
my gosh, that's
you know,
funny.
I know. We're talking about the 1970s free-range reality.
Like chickens.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you remember the safety standards of the 70s? Car seats were basically your mom's arms swinging out and hitting your chest when she slammed on the brakes.
Oh my God.
Lead was in everything from paint to gasoline. Lead exposure was common, and nobody thought twice about it. I don't know if we knew any better or those who
Well,
did
we
just never
we
told
just
us.
took for granted that people
Yeah.
that were building things or creating things were doing it safely.
Exactly.
Right? And going back to that car thing.
Yeah.
So I remember we used to lie, like, the back seat.
Yep.
There's kind of like behind the back seat, there's like a flat area
Yep.
where it connects with the windshield.
Yes.
But we used to lay on top of that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Living large. That was
I know.
great.
I know, and especially because the sun would beat it. And I remember those things.
And station wagons. You pile in as
Yes.
many kids as possible.
Yeah.
And don't forget, in the 70s, it was helmet-free biking. Nobody had a helmet.
Yeah.
Even in the NHL, helmets didn't become a thing until 1979. And if you were already an NHL player, it was optional. You didn't even have to wear
That's
a
right.
helmet. And no visors either. So, my gosh. So you see
So
where-
many injuries.
what
Oh,
we're-
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, we're
yeah.
getting that?
So exactly. So it was the era of free range parenting. We'll
Yes.
Go back to parenting.
Yeah.
We'd disappear for like 8 hours with a banana seat bike, which I had with the tall handlebars
So cool.
and zero supervision.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in between zeros, like we'd be out playing, but then we would, end up at somebody's house or something.
Yeah.
So whoever's house you landed at were your parents in the moment.
That's right.
Right.
That's your supervision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got a scrape, you rub some dirt on it and kept
Yeah.
moving. Oh my God. On my banana seat, there was I want to say there was 4 of us on my bike. It was like a Mustang,
Oh.
one of those Mustang bikes with a
yeah.
banana seat,
Yeah, that's cool.
tall handlebars. So there was my friend Linda on the front handlebars, brand new bathing suit that had like one of those little capes. And I was driving, and behind me on my banana seat was my other friend, and then I had like one of those flat things in the back. There was 4 of us,
Oh, yeah.
and we were going down a hill. And of course, I lost control. So we landed up in a bunch of rocks.
Oh,
And
in your bathing suit.
well, and poor Linda, like she landed like on her back, and
Oh, ouch.
no supervision.
Nope. Nope.
4 people on a bike.
yeah.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, gee. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So safety, stranger danger was not a thing.
No. No. And water bottles, we didn't have water bottles. We just drank from everybody's garden hose.
Exactly.
If one of the moms would give us Kool-Aid, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah. Especially in that jug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the stories that I wanted to share. So this is the stranger danger part.
Yeah.
We didn't really plan to talk about stranger danger on this, but it came up in my head because I grew up in a rural area surrounded by forest. You know, like our street, it was a subdivision,
Yeah.
but, you know, every corner had, I don't know how many acres of trees. So to get to my aunt's place, I used to walk down the street, go through somebody's yard with permission, and behind them was like a trail through a bush that was probably half a kilometer long. And then I'd end up on a street to go to my aunt's, all on my own. And I'm like 8,
Oh,
7 or 8.
picturing Little Red Riding Hood.
And nobody ever thought twice about it.
Nope.
Kids can't do that now. That total feeling of safety, right?
And yet things did happen then as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. But in my world, it was,
Yeah.
very rare that something awful happened.
Well, okay. Before we go on, I want to paint a picture of the 70s.
Okay,
So
good idea.
this is your house. Most households had at least one TV, usually only one, and usually black and white until the mid 70s. Then you could get the color. 95% of households had a television by 1970. Not everybody. And phones, almost every household had a landline phone, the rotary one,
Yeah.
but only one per household. No cell phones, and long-distance calls were super expensive.
Very.
And you had to wait till late at night to call
Yeah.
to get the cheaper rates. Calculators, personal calculators were rare in the early 70s, but they did become more common mid-decade as pocket models emerged. Many families still use slide rules or had to do mental math. That's all we had. Stereos and record players. Many households had a record player or turntable, sometimes part of a stereo system. Cassette players were just coming in by the late 70s, but vinyl records were the dominant form of music.
Yeah.
Not every family
Or
had
live music.
or live, yeah. And the radio,
Lots of
course.
bands. Lots
Yeah.
of bands, like lots of community bands.
Kind of a summary of what it looked like. So there's your typical household. And,
And the washing machines had a ringer.
yeah,
So,
about 70...
so people wouldn't even know what that is.
No, that's a ringer washer.
So it's like a basin where you watch the clothes swish around.
Yeah.
And then to get the soap out, you would put them through 2
rollers. And it
It
squished out.
out the water.
Then you had to
have
do
one.
empty the...
Yeah. And then put
Clean
water in
water.
to rinse it and do it all over again. Oh, my
It
God.
was very labor intensive.
Yeah.
But I guess a step up from washing just by hand in a bucket with the... A lot of the moms, not all, were stay-at-home moms at that time too. So yeah, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Boredom was awesome. We didn't need gadgets. Gadgets weren't an option because we didn't have them. Hairbrushes were our microphones. Clouds were castles, dragons or spaceships. And boredom was just the opening act for our imagination.
Oh, well said. Yeah.
No iPads, just imagining destinies in the backyard. And psychologists say that forced boredom was actually brilliant for our brain development. Win-win. So, yeah.
Well, we're actually talking about this, not even on the podcast, just recently about how kids are being told what to think.
Oh,
And I'm not talking about in education. I'm talking about, they're watching Blue's Clues
Yeah,
or
yeah.
they're watching these shows, which are great for
Yep,
teaching them things. But more and more, they're getting away from thinking their own thoughts,
yeah.
creating their own, like you said, like their own worlds.
Yeah.
And their, that whole personal creativity is really not there anymore. And when we were kids, we didn't, like you said, Kim, we didn't have a choice. Like, it's like go outside and play. And you just, push out the door. You verbally pushed out the door.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of standing there in your yard going, now
Now
what?
what do- yeah.
So then you pick up a twig and you go, oh, this would kind of draw something on the ground. And then the next thing you know, you've drawn something. We would build forts in that woods that I'm talking about. We had a great childhood, honestly.
Hopscotch.
Yes. Yeah. Chalk on the pavement.
Yeah.
Actually, we didn't have pavement until later on, but and we also had 2. The 2 beaches, I guess. So one on either side of the road, and one had a dance hall. So yeah, there was always people getting together, and it's just a different world. There was none of this watching TV.
Oh my gosh, no.
know.
Plus, there weren't any shows on during the day.
No.
Except for cartoons in the morning on Saturdays.
Yeah, and later on, maybe the Friendly Giant and
Yeah,
and Captain Kangaroo
Yeah.
or something. But most of the time, we were told to go outside. make
Oh, yeah.
our own fun.
That wasn't an option.
No. So
Yep.
I think kids miss out on that because they don't really get to know who they are as a person sometimes when they're being told how to play, told how to think. That's my 2 cents worth.
Well said.
Anyway, and fast forward to now, it's what experts call the intensification of parenting. We spend so much time, or so much more time, structuring our kids' lives. And I get it, parents, because we're all busy, you know.
Because if you're both working, where are the kids?
I know, everything has to be scheduled.
Yeah.
And like you said, back in the 70s, most of the time, the mothers stayed home. Nobody can afford that these days. And if you can, you know, good for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know? But yeah, so it's different.
Very different. It's not that it was bad then or better then, just different. Mm-hmm. And during the 70s, we also had that children were seen and not heard attitude.
Oh my God, yeah.
Kids were kind of like just the background noise. Modern day now, it's a democratic shift. So we actually listen to our kids. If you complained about dinner in the 70s, good luck.
Yeah.
You weren't excused. You just stayed put until that plate was clean. No substitutions, no mercy. Liver and onions. Hope you like it. Good luck with that.
Ew.
Now we're using ChatGPT or AI as a third co-parent to help us figure out how to handle a toddler tantrum. In the 70s, there was input from parents, well-meaning in-laws, neighbors, anybody, bystanders, everybody, well-meaning or judgmental. I don't mean to interfere, but I think you're raising your children all wrong. and
yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
You know.
And, you know, when I grew up, too, everybody, all the families stayed in the same community. So you did have neighbors, you know, that you treasured.
Yeah.
But my grandmother was in the same community. My aunts and uncles were in the same community. So we were always at family functions every Saturday.
Yeah.
It was more
Yeah.
of a family function thing than, you know. And then we got older, got into sports, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
But it was definitely different.
Extra sets of eyes and ears, though, too,
Yeah.
keeping track of everybody.
Yeah. But, you know, there's a few instances, too. Like you're talking about it takes a village.
Yep.
And I can see my mom, not latching on, but my mom appreciating some of my relatives' input. So she would kind of lean on them, you know, like
That's
if she
good.
wasn't sure about something.
Yeah.
They were like her chat GPT, right?
Perfect.
So she would call up and say,
Yeah.
you know, this is how, like, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then other times I could see her, you know, when I was playing baseball, I was pitching, and people were rattling rocks and tins. And the next thing you know, you see my mom going walking over there and telling them to stop. So, yeah, they had gumption back then. And that goes back to those good attributes and the manners that we talk about.
Yeah. And she was just doing a good thing that she was helping you.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
She
like
was
she
sticking,
wasn't.
she was sticking up for me.
Yeah.
In her little house dress as she goes marching over there. So it's more emotional for sure nowadays.
Yeah.
It's hard work. We've traded physical freedom for emotional connection. But emotional connection, I believe, is a lot stronger. I think there should have been more of that back in the 70s. Like, I agree with, you know, getting the kids outside to play. Everybody felt safer because, you know, kids weren't bullied so much or, you know, no, because cousins would step in.
Yeah, but
You
if
know,
you
all
didn't
those
have
families.
cousins
Yeah, I know.
and,
Oh, I know there was bullies out there.
Yeah.
But back when I grew up, you had those friends and the family that all stayed in the same community. So, and they're all different ages, of course. So if somebody's picking on Kimmy, you can be sure that Judy was over there telling them to, like, back off.
Yeah. See,
You know?
that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you had that as well. But I really feel that there's just so much in this world. Like, it's not as simple. Everything's so complicated. There's too much access to social media, you know, a whole new way to bully people.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, everything you do is recorded too now.
yeah. So I feel for you. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Hang in there, parents.
Yeah,
You're doing
exactly.
a good job.
Okay, so let's find that middle ground. What's the win? It looks like maybe blending the two, using the tech we have, like AI for meal planning or scheduling, creating the mental space to actually let our kids be bored like we were. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, in the 70s, boredom sparked that imagination and all the chaos management. So using those tools now that we have, we can actually give our kids the space to be bored, dream, like by scheduling it and let them invent.
Yeah.
You know, so we schedule boredom for the kids is what I'm saying, just like in the 70s, just not on purpose. There was no entertaining the kids. They took care of that themselves. So we'll give them that time.
Yeah. Maybe look, you know what I was just thinking about? Maybe look back at the 70s, if you're not familiar, and maybe incorporate some of the best practices from the 70s with the best practices from now.
Yeah, blend it.
Blending, just like you said.
Take
Blend
what
them
you
both.
liked from it
Yeah.
and leave what you didn't.
And I mean, you can Google anything these days, right?
Yeah.
So, or send us some messages and we can, we can respond to you.
That's right.
So I love this topic because I really believe that, oh my gosh, to be a parent these days is just so tough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure back in the 70s they had challenges too, but just seemed like such a simpler time.
Yeah.
So I love this one. And I love what you're saying, find that middle ground, use the modern tools to find that old school, sense of calm, and learn how to also not use modern tools, put the iPad away or the phones.
Yeah.
And redevelop the power of letting your kids just think for themselves, let their creative minds work on their own without planting the seeds. Wouldn't that be cool to see what they come up with?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But of course, safely in this constant shifting of the world we live in. We have to just constantly adapt, right?
Yeah. And
You're looking very thoughtful.
well, we were never bombarded constantly by the news and the media, right? Everywhere the kids look or not look, they're hearing what's going on, and that's pretty stressful.
We did, but ours was through the newspaper.
That's
newspaper and TV, but
And
it
6
wasn't like
o'clock's news.
constant.
No.
It was like at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching the news.
Yeah.
So you hear about it for an hour.
Yeah.
Or, the newspaper, whatever. I don't remember. I just think we weren't interested.
It was just like, it's the news.
Yeah. It's like, ho-hum.
Yeah.
Let me
bye.
outside
Yeah.
and dig a ditch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather do anything else. But
Yeah.
the 70s gave us imagination born from boredom. Today, we get to keep that creativity alive while actually listening, helping, and letting childhood be a little bit magical. That's our show for today. Peace out. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, please subscribe and leave us a review. And hey, tell us in the comments, are you a streetlight mom or a GPS mom?
Oh, very cool.
And as always, thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
And please connect with us at askmomstoday@gmail.com. You can find Ask Moms podcast on YouTube, but also on Hunters Bay Radio, 88.7 on the dial, or www.muskokaradio.com. So we hope we've helped you feel empowered, heard, supported, and please remember, everybody, we know you do your best, and you are not alone. So until next time, please take care of yourself and others when you can.
You've got this.